Hello, my name is Jim Mullaney from SciTech Process Solutions. Today is Thursday, February 1st, 2018. I hope everyone's having a great new year. Today I'm doing a video source inspection on an OEM group 880S spin rinse dryer. For the privacy of our customers, we do not give out their name on our videos. This video will be uploaded to the web to be seen by other individuals possibly, so we just like to give their purchase order number. It is 14320, and this tool will be going to Germany. This system's a little bit different. Semi-tool, we're the world leader in remanufactured semi-tool spin rinse dryers, but we also do quite a lot of remanufactured systems for customers where they send their tools in for the complete refurbishment process. I'll kind of review that real quickly. Normally on our systems, we take off the sides and we show you how we label all of our parts for ease of use, but since this is a customer's tool, we did not do that. But I'll review our remanufacturing process. We take the system, take the heads assemblies out, take all the poly off, take it down to the frame level, clean the frame. We send the bowls out to have them reprocessed and electropolished. We re-electropolish the N2 heater manifold, and we rebuild all the ACR valves. We rebuild the motors, and we check all the heaters, both blanket heaters and cartridge heaters, and we check and replace all of the needed 8 or 20 PSI sensors. It turns out OEM has switched now, and they don't use a 20 PSI sensor as incoming air anymore. It's an 8 PSI. But so we left the sensor to the customer same spec. Part of our rebuild process is we replace anything that's in the N2 and DI line that's plastic related, i.e. all the Teflon lines are replaced, all the pneumatic lines are replaced, the door seals replaced, and the back bowl seals are done. What we do is in our manufacturing, we do a dry build of the head assembly by itself. Again, the head assembly by itself would be this system, taken off, and then taken totally apart. We do a dry build of the tool. We have a quality control checklist that goes by one technician, and if it passes, then the head's brought into wet test. It's facilitized, the DI's hooked up, and then we check for any leaks. We go through a second quality control test there. Assume the tool passes, it goes into a 50-run process qualification. After that, we then configure it in its system, in this case a double stack. This system uses the PSC 108 controllers. These are not the controllers that are supplied by SciTech. For reference, SciTech has a state-of-the-art graphic touchscreen controller that's the best controller available in the world right now, and it's being purchased by most people that buy our systems or send tools for upgrades. But this customer is sticking with the PSC 108 because they use a whole different control system that can't be upgraded to the new Slick Device controller. Unlike the normal semi-tool history, you could just slide a controller out and replace it. The new 108 has a whole board configuration where the amp, the boards, all electronics are all integrated to each other, so you can't easily try to repair something. It's very difficult, actually. We've gone through the electronics to make sure everything works. So the customer has already seen pictures of the tool. This is just a functionality test to show you the quality of the machine. What I'll do is I'll start the top and bottom head just to show you it's running well, and then we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about semi-tool and our support, why it runs through its process. So on this system, you simply load the 8-inch wafers in and hit start. As you see, it starts. The bottom rinser dryer, same thing. Load the wafers in, hit start. You've got your DI running, and you'll have your DI on the bottom. I like to look at the back of the tool to make sure everything's looking good. All facilities are on right. It's a little bit loud because we left the back panels off. That way we can inspect it during our testing and our videos. So the middle and the top panel are off, so I can see the back of the tool running. Everything's running good. Resistivity's on there. You'll notice this customer does not use the resistivity option. They have it programmed out, even though it's a resistivity probe, so it'll come up as a dry probe, which is fine. What I'll do is, why this runs, I'll go ahead and talk about what SciTech does offer, and then we can then, at the end of the process, show you that the wafers come out dry and everything's working correctly. If you go to our website at SciTechProcess.com, which is SciTechProcess.com, on the left-hand side you'll see a variety of buttons, links to our website. The first 7 buttons are all semi-tool related. The first 3 are on our systems we offer. The S model, which is the newest versions, the F model, which is a hybrid, and the ST, which is the traditional version. The next 3 buttons are for all the spare parts for those specific versions also. And the 7th button is for our SAT, WST, and SST product line, tools we offer, and then spare parts we offer. Right now, for reference, we're in high RPM, 1800. The traditional semi-tool process is rinse, purge the water out of the airlines, out of the water lines, and run a high-speed RPM. This is normally a short RPM. The customer has a long recipe in there. We're not really sure why they run such a long recipe, but we didn't opt to change the recipe. Traditionally, semi-tool runs a short, dry 1. It's meant to sling the water off the substrates. Then it goes into dry 2, which is the lower RPM. So you use the centrifugal force, the hot end 2, and the heater blankets to do all the drying. There was lots of particle studies at semi-tool that showed if you can reduce RPMs, you'll tend to have better particle counts across the board. So right now we're in, actually it's quite long dry 1. It shows you're in step 1 or step 2, the status and the output. As you can see, this controller, there's not much information. It's actually a not very user-friendly controller at all. However, again, it is what it is. Going back to our website, so you can go to any of those 7 links to see the spare parts we offer. When we talk about spare parts, we do have a U.S. price guarantee that we have the lowest price in any new semi-tool spare part in the United States. We also have pretty much 100% spare parts capability on the S, ST, and F models. In fact, the spare parts in the United States is one of our largest product lines as we support now the tools worldwide. If you look down our website further, you'll see the rest of the buttons. They are more specific to other product types. We do 10-core particle counters, KLA particle counters. We do etch equipment. We do Branson strippers. We have high-power microscopes, low-power microscopes. One of the largest product lines we do, besides our rinser dryers, is the HTC Integris box washer. We are the world leader on those. This last year, I think we've done or had 8 systems purchased from us. They're very large systems made to wash and dry your Teflon cassettes and boxes and other media too. So we have about 3.5 minutes still in this RPM. So we'll just let this keep running. What we can do is, as you might see over here, we're quite busy in our final test. This is a double stack system that we just refurbished. We're waiting for the customer to come up. We actually have a second system right behind me over there. This is an example of how I talk about a system's brought in. This one's in test now, as you can see. It has no poly. It's going through the 50-run burn-in. This is where, after this configuration, it passes. It gets then put into this configuration. You can also see over here, we have 2 more systems. That's why I'm saying we're quite busy here in final test. These systems hopefully will be put into the poly tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night, and they'll be sourced over the weekend. Most of these systems, we tend to have about 2 or 3 systems a week come through our final test area. And usually they're only here for a couple days. The biggest headache we have sometimes is the customer getting back to us on doing the source inspection. Because this is our distributor and we've done multiple tools for them, they're not required to do a source inspection acceptance. The company this is being shipped to has already done multiple refurbishments with us, so we don't have to wait for their acceptance. This tool actually is going to be created tomorrow, and we're waiting for the customer shipping arrangements to send it over to Germany. See where we're at. We still have 2.5 minutes left. All right, see if I can go into some of the screen. Let me see. I was just trying to see. Yeah, we're kind of stuck here. Got to wait. We have another 2 minutes to go. Now, what I'll probably do is when we go into dry 2, I'll stop the system early because I can already tell you now the wafers are dry. Knowing a standard semi-tool process, 5 minutes between normally dry 1 and dry 2 is enough to dry the wafers. And then you'll see it work. We also offer customers refurbishments and customers repairs. I talked about this customer, but we also do amp repairs, controller repairs. We do the 101 controller, the 102 controller, all the traditional ST controllers, which would be the 328, the 225, the 228, even the CM20, the oldest system. We also offer spare parts on those, the traditional ST units themselves. So that's I'm going to wait for about another. I guess I'll wait for a whole minute and a half, and then we'll go in. When it drops on the dry 2, and we'll process it. I can already tell you it's very dry inside there. So I'm going to talk to the customer about their process. To me, it doesn't really make that much sense. They have to have such a high RPM dry 1, especially if they're worried about particles. If you can imagine that with something spinning faster, it's causing more wear and tear, more turbulence. Those are the type of things that cause particles. One of the things that's really neat about our new controller, it's called the Slick Device S1, that's for S models, is that traditionally with the semi-tool machine, you don't know if your anti-static module goes bad. And the anti-static module is key for particle control. So the problem is, what customers do is they find out upstream, 3 or 4 processes later, they start having yield loss. And they work back until they get to a rinser dryer to find out that an anti-static module went bad. One of the parts of our controller is we actually monitor the anti-static module, and we have an alarm the first time it goes bad on you. So immediately you can call maintenance and have the system fixed so you don't have any loss of yield and manpower, time, and money. We have about 15 seconds left, and a little bit more on the bottom one, and we'll go into dry too. And then I'll probably end the process. At the end of the process, the semi-tool, when it ramps down, it's called a rotor stop positioner, RSP. It's a piston in the back. It fires and it uprights the cam, and that takes, we call it home position. That'll take the cassette to 12 o'clock, and I'll do that in a second. Okay, so what this customer did, as you can see, they only ran the high RPM. That was it, no low RPM. I'm going to suggest to them that they take that 5 minutes and divide it up. Again, they might not worry about particle control. This system does have the light indicators. So do Cytex machines. So I will go ahead and recipe complete. What I like to do is first check the wafers. Nice and dry. Look good. Yep. Okay. Okay, very low pressure purge. I get a feel for that. I'll look at the bottom one. Wafers are nice and dry. Cassette's warm. As you can see, the bowl's in great shape. It's been reprocessed. It looks beautiful. So, this will conclude this video source inspection of a refurbished customer system OEM group / semi-tool 880S utilizing the PSC 108 controllers. If there's any questions, you can call us at 916-797-9000, and you can ask for anyone in our sales organization, and they can help you on replacement tools, rebuilding your tools, all spare parts, and any repairs needed. So again, today is February 1st, 2018. Thank you and have a great day.